Hi, everyone. It's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So if this is one of your first times joining me, welcome. I'm so glad that you have joined me. And if you're coming back and watching, I really do appreciate it. It's World Card Making Day. Isn't that exciting? This is where all around the world, throughout the 24 hours, people are celebrating World Card Making Day. So I'm also hosting a watch party. You can get the information off my group. The group is just down below. And we're just going to watch along. Some of you may be doing the cards that they're doing, but you also get to see some new stuff as well. So it's kind of neat to be able to come and just watch that. I'm also planning to show you some of the cards that I had in my team swap as well. Oh, hello. Good morning. In any event, it's card sketch number 177. These card sketches, I hope that they help you develop your own confidence to create a card. I always encourage you to use something that I haven't used to create a card and then post it in the group, and you could be drawn for a miscellaneous draw to win a prize, whether it be a tutorial if you live outside of Canada. And if you live inside of Canada, it could be a stamp set as well. And that reminds me, I forgot to announce those ones. One thing I have to be very careful in when I do draws, and I'm also going to be doing a draw during that watch party, is that Facebook has no affiliation with this draw. It's all on me. So that's just something I want you to be fully aware of. Awesome. So let's get going on this card sketch number 177. Remember, this is part of a live. So if you're watching this on replay and I'm saying hello to different people, that's just because that's all part of a live, right? So if you don't enjoy that part, just scoot on forward after that part. However, I always say they may have a question that you may have as well. So let's get on down to my desktop here. Very simple card sketch today. Hello, Barb and Andrea and Pam. Okay, very easy card sketch. I know I've done something similar in the past like this. Measurements are just a little tiny bit different. But this piece here and this diagonal that's here, or this triangle that's here, is actually a 3.5-inch piece of designer series paper that I used by 4 3/4, and I just cut it on the diagonal. And of course, you want to make sure that you're cutting it on the diagonal in such a certain way. These circles happen to be the 2 5/8 and the 2 1/8, one from the stylish shape dies. So that may help you. You could use 2 3/8. You could do any of that sort of stuff. Oh, you're all cut and ready. You know, the funny thing is I am not really cut and ready for it. I thought maybe I'm just going to watch along with it. I'm giving you guys the option of posting. There's a thread on my Facebook group, and to post those, and anybody that posts a picture, I will enter them into a miscellaneous draw. Hathaway Lake. Where is Hathaway Lake? I'm not sure where that is. Hello, Dolores. Oh, I haven't seen you in a long time. Awesome. And hello, Marie. Okay, so I am going to use the Joy of Christmas. This happens to be one of my favorite ones of the Christmas stamp sets. I just think it's a very elegant one. I like this, and the other one that's in the suite is as well. But I'm going to switch it up. This is the one that I'm so stuck on all the time, but I'm going to actually use this one again. I have used it before, but it's such a pretty stamp set that I think you need to see a lot more things on there. And I didn't do a card class with this, which is kind of unusual. So in any event, so I used the Joy of Noel designer series paper, and it happens to be this particular one that I'm using. And this is the one, like I say, I went and I cut it 3 3/4 or 3.5 by 4 3/4, and then I just cut down on the diagonal like that. Now, this is just a regular card base once it's done. So I'm just going to fold into the mountain, and let's just go and score that. Oh, you're getting ready too, Colleen. That's great. That's awesome. Oh, okay. In the caribou. Nice. Well, welcome. Okay, so I have a piece of basic white that I've just used. I could have put this through the embossing folder, but I decided I'm not going to do too much with this particular part. And this happens to be 3 3/4 by 5. And then this piece of designer series paper is going to go on here. Now, like I say, I'm going to decorate this part first, and then at that point, I might decide, do I want to use ribbon or don't I want to use ribbon? And then I'll decide from there. So I'm just going to glue this piece on. You know, we live in BC, but we just don't even know all the areas. I haven't been to all areas of BC. 1, 2, 3 years I did travel around BC. It's a beautiful province, but anyways. Hello, Midge. Awesome. Okay. Okay, then there's this, and I did this in shaded spruce. This is the larger of the stitched from the Stylish Shapes. And then I have this piece here. Now, this kind of goes with, now these greens that are in here are old olive and shaded spruce. And see how that's just going to go on there like that. But I decided what I want to do is I also want to have this part, this image also on there. So I've already got that onto a block, and I'm going to color it with my Stampin' Blends. So I'm just going to come in with my Memento. Yeah, busy day today, that's for sure. I've tested it out. So I'm hoping that everything works right. And actually, when I tested it out, they were doing it in another market. So I got to see a little sneak peek of something that they're going to show us that's up and coming. And if you're a demonstrator, you saw part of it on a pre-order. Okay, so I also I want to use my shaded spruce and that, but I want to put a tiny bit of old olive in there as well. Now, this is dark old olive. You can see I've got my lids mixed up. So I'll just get to some light old olive. And then I've got some shaded spruce and I've got some real red. So let's do the easy part first. I'm just going to go in and just color my berries. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. What I always do is, hello, Renee. I always take my image and cut it out first. And the reason you want to do that is, say by some chance, you know, when you're running it through the cut and emboss machine, it might move. Well, usually if I'm doing it live, it does move. So I try to always say to people, go ahead and stamp it, then die cut it before you're going to color it. So that's what I did. I had a piece done already. So we're just going to put some of that real red on the berries. It's a small enough image that I'm not going to go in and really do any kind of shading on there. Now, like I say, I do want some old olive on here. So I'm going to kind of just go in a bit and saturate a tiny bit of these bigger leaves. Although I'm going to go in and we are going to use the shaded spruce in there as well. The shaded spruce, I think, would look great on the berry leaves. Now, you notice I go back and forth from a brush to the bullet end. Honestly, when I was certified with another alcohol marker, we used always the bullet end. And it's hard when you weren't used to the brush end, because originally when the markers did come out in Japan, they came out and they were bullet end and a different type of a brush end, which is really kind of different. Now this is the lighter part of the shaded spruce. So I'm just going to go in, just going to get a bit of this. I don't want this too dark. And then when I go back in with my light shaded spruce, I'm going to use the bullet end. And then you go and you just go in circles to get that blended, because I don't want those lines to show up. Another thing, when you're also coloring, you want a tiny bit of white. You don't want to have to color every single thing. And I noticed that I did. So what not to do, right? But we're just going to get some of that. And then I'm also going in with this, and I'm going to color some of the shaded spruce in there. And then I'm coming back in with my old olive, the bullet end, and doing it that way. Yes, Renee, I totally agree with you. Very vintagey. My goodness. Oh, my English is atrocious. You know, I'm going to come in with a tiny bit more of that shaded spruce in here. Just kind of the flick sort of technique on there. And you see that it's just kind of just getting a bit of that color on there. And then I'm coming back in with that bullet end and just, whoops, this is the dark one. Didn't want to do the dark. All right, that we can blend it so it looks okay. And that's just going to, see how it's just going to tie in with the colors that are in the designer series paper. Now, I also can go in with the bullet end, and I'm just going to actually just do these sprig parts. I think I'll use the light again. That dark shaded spruce is quite dark, actually. There we go. And like I say, we're just kind of getting just a bit of that. Now, there is a, with our other one here, we have this soft seafoam, and I just want to kind of go in with the soft seafoam and just sort of take off the color, this dark white color. And it's the light that I'm using. This is where I would do this a lot of times in a pool party. I would do it, but you can see where I've done it and where I haven't done it, it really sort of softens up and it's not so stark white. So I'm just doing this, and that's kind of highlighting the images itself. I'm just doing that with the, there we go. Okay, so let's get going on this card. Like I say, I've got this like this. I'm going to put this on here, and that's going along with our card sketch, right? Now, I just want to lay this across here. And what this is going to do is it's going to kind of bring up some of that white that's in there, having some of the color, or I could bring it down this way as well. But I'm going to do it up this way. And then the joyous, or making spirits bright, I think what I'll do is I'll grab some white. Oh, you know what would be the best, I think, on here would maybe be, I did cut out these sprigs, and I cut them out in shaded spruce and some old olive. They're just going to go up there. And then let's take some shaded spruce. And I just have a piece that's like this. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this like this, and let's just stamp this with our Versamark. And I don't even think I'm going to put any, now these are photopolymer stamp sets. I should be using a paper piercing mat, but this has a whole pad of grid paper on here. So that gives me my padding or the cushion that I need for this. So I'm just going to stamp that like that. Let's go ahead and do that in white embossing powder. Just love a dark with the white on it. I think it really is kind of pretty. There we go. See, there we go. We'll just get that embossed there. Oh, Pam, you did use the Pool Party for the edges. But like I say, when you have this green tone, this soft seafoam works quite well with it. It's a very, very light color, and it's just taking a tiny bit away from the white. That's all it's doing. Oops. And then this is just going to go on here like so. And I could leave it like that, or I could fussy cut it out. And I think I will fussy cut it. Hello, Kath. So let's just go here. Say this is not colors that I would normally put together in Old Olive and Shaded Spruce, but Stampin' Up did in their colors. So yeah. So remember, I'm giving a few giveaways, probably some tutorials. I have some excellent tutorials to give away. There we go. All right, so let's just put this together. I'm actually just going to glue this on here. Then I want to put this on with dimensionals. So, and then we'll just take your pick tool and take this off. Now, this is just going to go like this. So I'm actually going to stick that right up there, and that's probably going to get right underneath one of those dimensionals, which it did. And then I'm just going to stick some glue onto this one here. There we go. And you're not really seeing that Old Olive on there. Well, I guess you are. And then, of course, this can go right on here. And, you know, I'm not going to pop it up. So, and then let's just put this across here. Now, what we could do, oh, you know what? I'll just put that across there. I don't want to get too much height on there. Just like that. And then just grabbing some, whoops, some baker's twine. Some white of the baker's twine, which came from, it came from the Essentials pack, and I hope I've got enough here to do a double one. Let me just see if that'll work. Kind of didn't give myself enough there, but let's pull this down. Pull this one down. And then I'm just going to cut that thing there. Just going to put this up here. I'll do that with a glue dot. And I don't know, do you think I should put some embellishments? I've got some really tiny ones. You like the sprigs on the white, eh? Okay, that's great. Yeah, this sweet is a beautiful sweet. I haven't played enough with the other part. But there's so many different color combinations that you can do. The designer series paper is absolutely amazing. Okay, so let's go and put, whoops, got the glue dot on my finger. Just there. Let's go ahead and glue that onto there. Whoops. So you can see where we've got that. Doesn't look really, well, it does. It looks exactly the same. Oh, thank you. There we go. There. And then on the inside, we can just go ahead and maybe put some, just a simple little sprig on there. Or we could put even a holly leaf on there. But, you know, let's see. I think my sprig is actually down at the other end of the table. It is. Oops. That right on there. And then I just have this sprig here that we're just going to, simple little sprig on the inside. Lots of room to write. You might at this point go, I hope you have a Merry Christmas on there, but we're just going to put that on there. And just a tiny bit. We'll just, actually I could have done that in the shaded spruce ink. That would have been okay. There we go. Put that on the inside. You definitely have to have a layer when you're doing blends on the inside of the card because of it blending through, right? So let's just put that on there. And then, you know what? I think I am going to use just a tiny bit of embellishments. These are smaller ones. These are the festive pearls. They're quite small. So I thought what I could do is these are actually a cherry cobbler red. So I'm going to go in. This is almost like, I don't think it's a, you know, I'm going to go with the dark shaded spruce. Now, one thing to be careful when you are using coloring pearls is that you do not want to do too much coloring on your pearls, or you'll take off that shiny effect on there. Okay, so just let that dry a little bit. But let's go here. And I'm going to use 5 because they're really tiny. Just like that. And 2 down here. Just like that. There we go. So there's the card using Joy of Noel. And this is the card sketch that we've used. It kind of just, well, it's a different color card for me, that's for sure. Normally I'm not a green person. I always say I'm not a green person, but my house tends to be green. But there we go, using that beautiful Joy of Noel. There's so many different things you can do with it. And like I say, there's your card sketch. Don't forget to put your, to enter into a card, your card sketch. If you do it today, you could be entered in to win a special prize that I have for World Card Making Day. Thank you, Judy. Awesome. So like I say, if there's, isn't there red sequins? Yes, I could do red sequins. No, really? Are the red sequins No, we don't have anything red. That's the problem. Nothing real red. And this is a real red that happens to be in this color there. So that's why I didn't use, I could have used the red, I guess. It would have looked okay. See, if I'd done red. Yeah, the red would have looked okay. In any event, there we go. Thank you. Awesome. So we will see some of you that are going to join me for a watch party. The information's in my stamp group, just or on my stamp page. You can just go in there. In my stamp group, there's an event. It has you joined by Zoom. We're just going to watch Stampin' Up. So you're going to see a sneak peek of a new product that's coming up. And I want to show you some of my team swap cards. I got some great cards from my team in a swap. So if you like that, give me the thumbs up, share my video. I really do appreciate that. And if you do live in Canada and do not have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. I do have a really great thank you program now where I send out a card kit to make a fancy fold card. And we're doing a diorama this month. In any event, you guys, have a great day. Remember to create because it's great for the soul. And some of you, I know I'll see you later on Zoom. Bye for now.